بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق وعز المرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وصحبه المنتجبين وعلى جميع أنبياء الله والمرسلين. السلام عليكم. Brothers and sisters, we were talking about black magic, and the reason we were talking about it because we were explaining a verse from Surah Al-falaq. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد. من شر النفاثات في العقد, big debate and very argumentative point about النفاثات في العقد. Why? Because we had two opinions among scholars in Islam, regardless of the school of thought. We had a group of people, of scholars, said there is nothing called black magic. And we have another group of scholars among Shia and Sunnah, they said, no, there is black magic. But according to Shia scholars, the majority, they consider it what? Something fake. But for Sunni school of thought, to them, you see more scholars, they believe in it. So the majority among our school of thought, Shia school of thought, we do not believe in a black magic. Now the question would be, so what's this ayah talking about? النفاثات في العقد. We discussed this in a very detailed way. Here we bring just the summary. If you have any question, we can discuss it and answer it after. They say naffasat في العقد. Those who believe in a black magic, they said this is the evidence. They said this is the evidence. So why? We said النفاثات في العقد. They claim that النفاثات في العقد are those magicians that use knots and they, what did we say? Blow on those knots to make magic, use their secret, arts. And they have a proof, according to Sunni scholars, that in Al-Bukhari there is riwayah عن Hisham all the way to Aisha, زوج الرسول, that said the Prophet was under the curse or the effect, potential of what? Sihr, magic.
They can't hear you. Turn on the microphone.
It is on.
Well, you're not hearing.
So we can turn it off and we can continue offline, then we can, or you know what, you can just remove that, please, that red cable. Okay, thank you, just remove it. So the voice will be a little bit, and get the camera closer, so maybe, yeah. So they have some, later on we'll put the one offline. So the black magic, to Sunni scholars, they have two ayahs mainly. The first one is النفاثات في العقد. The other one is about Harut wa Marut in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 102. And they have hadith, they consider it sahih, as the Hisham narrated that all the way to Aisha زوج الرسول, that she said the Prophet was under the influence of black magic. To a point, he did not pay attention to certain things. He thought he is doing it, but in reality, he did not. We are, from logical analysis, we have to question that and analyze it, and that's what we did. We said, first of all, as Quran-wise, the ayah by itself does not give us any solid evidence. The Quran did not even say that النفاثات في العقد, they are using magic. It was, indirectly referred to. So if the magic was that powerful and that, big deal, it would be better to say وَمِن شَرِّ the magic of those people, of the magician. Who did not? So when the Quran is avoiding to use the word magic in this ayah, it's indirectly telling us, hey, I don't believe in your career. I'm ignoring your job and your career. I'm just making fun and mocking what you are doing. It's like telling us they are using psychological influence on people when they do this, weird things, blowing, on knots. So it's like making fun of them. It's not giving them a credit. We can understand this. Why it was not clearly stated? It's a good question. Another thing, when it comes to the other ayah, which we discussed a lot, Harut wa Marut, the ayah did not say Harut wa Marut taught the people magic. They said they taught them something, but did not use magic. So it was ambiguous. And if it does, then the question would be, what kind of that magic is talking about it? Is it the magic that was mentioned in the time of Moses? We have more than 45 ayah, maybe 49 ayah, is talking about magic, and magic was what? Referred to as illusion, deception. All of a sudden now you want to use the word magic as what? As reality and fact? Why? So whether the ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah 102, Harut wa Marut, okay, even the ayah, I cannot get a real definition of magic. It could be illusion, or it could be what you are claiming. And if it does claim about secret, art, okay, that we do not know, also the ayah is talking about only separation between husband and wife, not more than that. It's not talking about a guy who does not, know what's happening. He can transfer people into animals, as you claim in some riwayat. So even the definition of magic in your evidence, guys, is not what? Solid. Another thing here we bring. In our books and in your books, Sunnah and Shia, how many hadith, Sahih al-Sanad, talked about magic? Very few. If magic were to be that important and is creating a problem in the society, I should not be seeing one hadith or two. In our resources as Shia, in the main resource of hadith, especially the 4 book, Al-Kafi, Al-Istibsar, من لا يحضره الفقيه, تهذيب الأحكام, those are our 4 major books. الطبقة الأولى we call of al-hadith. We don't have any hadith Sahih al-Sanad that talks about magic that influence people. Maybe we'll have a riwayah, dua, about, seeking refuge, from bad things. And one of them, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is capable to, as I remember, to reduce what? As-sihr, or, to invalidate as-sihr, let's put it this way. But this does not mean the sihr that some people nowadays believe in. Some people nowadays, they believe as sihr, someone is writing up something for them, their business will fail because of that written, document or hijab, we call it in Arabic. His life is turned upside down. All this, we don't have it in hadith. Another question, how come in our books, the major books that we believe they are way much better than any other book in our school of thought, as Shia, we don't have solutions from imams, I'm talking about authenticated hadith, how to get rid of sihr? If sihr is happening in every day, you think for more than 250 years, the imams are with the people. How come we have a few narrations and they are weak hadith? How come? Look, about tahara, how many hadith we have? About wudu, about ghusl, about, selling this, about trading, about, just name it. If it's a place, if it's something that is huge and took a place back in that in our history, How come people, they did not frequently what? Ask the Imam, where are the riwayat? We have couple riwayat, so all of them da'if al-sanad. Another point about their problem of black magic. What are the solution to get rid of black magic? According to Sunnah and Shia resources. One of the common riwayah you find, for instance, you eat 7 dates from certain place in Medina. Ajib. Nowadays, what is the solution of black magic? You go to a sheikh, and that corrupt person, under the name of a sheikh, he will request $500, $2,000, $10,000. If it is that easy, man, go buy that date. For Sunni, this is riwayah sahih al-sanad. For Shia, this is weak hadith. Okay? Another solution is to negate black magic, according to Sunni resources, is to recite what? قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ, and another surah, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. The last 2 surah in the Quran. So it is easy. If black magic is that wow, look how easy to solve it, if it exists. The other item about black magic, and it's worth it to discuss, what about the fatawa of our scholars? Okay, Quran is not clear. We don't have a proof black magic exists. Because the word sihr in Quran has so many meanings. وَإِذَا وُجِدَ الْإِحْتِمَالِ بَطُلَ الْإِسْتِدْلَالِ. Because it's 50-50. Could be this meaning, could be the other meaning. So you cannot use those 2 ayah, naffasat fi al-uqad, wal ayah about Harut wa Marut in Surah Al-Baqarah 102. You know, it is ambiguous. It's not clear. So we have to go to riwayat. Riwayat, we said what? Also we cannot prove it. Our good books, 4 important books as Shia, we don't have any hadith sahih al-sanad about it. And the solution, if you are cursed or you were to be under the influence of so-called the black magic, it's very simple. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. Dates, you eat, not dating, okay? You eat 7 dates from certain places in Medina, as they claim. And all these riwayat da'ifat al-sanad. Good? Now, we have some ahadith, if you go back, some ahadith, I'm gonna, give me 1 second. Ahadith from Ahl al-Sunnah. They say, and we have something similar in Shia. It's not that famous, but it is there. لا رقية إلا من عين أو حمى. I discussed that before. How come did not talk? لا رقية, يعني الرقية, what's رقية? You make ruqya for your son or your someone who is not comfortable. We do ruqya. What's in Lebanese we say it? Ra'wi. Okay, thank you. So we do ra'wi, okay? Ruqya. You read Quran, Ayat al-Kursi, certain dua. So here the hadith, according to Sahih al-Bukhari, he said, لا رقية إلا من عين أو حمة. عين, يعني this is صيبة عين, يعني according to this hadith. Now that's a different story. We'll talk about it inshallah next meeting. أو حمى, when you are attacked by, let's say, a snake, and that poison start entering into your blood. So this is a problem. So they say there is ruqya here. Where is the sihr? Where is the black magic? Regardless now whether this is hadith is right, not right, that's a different story. And they have something similar in our books as well. So how come did not mention as-sihr? Another thing, as-sihr, why don't you go back to the meaning of as-sihr? What's the meaning of sihr in Arabic? Most of the explanation, it's about deceiving, and it's about deception. You fake things to make people think what it is right, but in reality it is what? It's just fake. Like the magician of Fir'aun. They made people assume they are snakes, but in reality they are not. And this is the root of السحر. You can go back and trace that. We already discussed that before. Because they say it is الخداع والشعوذة والحركة الماهرة, something you do it in a hidden way. So this is in general. So we have the Quran is not clear. We have hadith. We don't have enough authenticated hadith to prove it. We have weak hadith that I'm going to be discussing in a bit. But before I get into weak hadith, because this is a big story, but I try to summarize it, we have a good question. So let's say in Quran is not 100% clear and it is not proven. In authenticated hadith, it's not 100% proven. Most of it is weak hadith, if not all. So, what about science? Oh, that's a good question. If something I cannot prove through Sharia, does not mean does not exist out there. Yani if in Islam I could not prove F equal ma, let's just, okay, a simple example. Newton's law. Does not mean, does not exist. Totally different. But why I care about this topic in Sharia? Because we said as-sihr affected the Prophet, and the Prophet is a role model. So if he is a role model, it's impossible for him to be under the curse of magic. Otherwise, I cannot follow him anymore, because I do not know when he is under the black magic. So because you are relating as-sihr to the Prophet or the Imam, here I have to put what? A question mark. Is that clear? If you can prove it scientifically, okay, good for you. I would be happy to read your research, but to prove it, it's something very metaphysical. Okay. Another thing here, there is no relation. Okay, we said the black magic in the Quran. Well, is it clear in the Quran? We said in the Quran, black magic is not mentioned, because the word magic in the Quran is very ambiguous. It could be just illusion. From hadith, we don't have a Shia authenticated hadith that says magic is magic. That now black magic nowadays is what? It's valid, or right, or happens. We don't have. طيب. So what about people when you go to them and they can tell you about things it never happened to you? They know your name or your problem. We say, please distinguish between black magic, ghaib, and jinn. Black magic is not always correlated to, if you know ghaib, that does not mean you know black magic, if there is a black magic. And if you know black magic, does not mean you are using jinn. Maybe you are using the influence of your, personal, power. Okay, so there is no relation. Sometimes they might be, but in reality, it is not always a correlation. Is that clear? Yani some people, they say, Sheikh, when I went to that corrupt guy telling me about my problem, so he gave me this hijab. He is good. Ya Habibi, there's no relation. Maybe he knew about you from his friend. Maybe, I do not know how he knew about you. That's a different story. Maybe it's a coincidence. But that does not mean he is good in black magic or he knows black magic. Otherwise, we ask ourselves, why those black magician, black magic people, influencer, why they are not the billionaires on this earth? Ya Habibi, you look at their life, they are what? They are poor. They have problems with their kids. You will see some of them, he does not know whether his wife is cheating on him or not. All of a sudden she divorced him and he is in the court, He does not know so many things about his personal life. So how come if you cannot tell and predict your, life, you are going to tell me through black magic you want to know, others' destiny or influence them if it is not related to ghaib? Is that clear? And you can say it. I mean, usually those who are making money, are they a magician? Go check from Apple to Microsoft to Google to Amazon. Go check them. Just give me 1 second and I will continue. Now we come to al-hadith. We have hadith, I would like to, and fatawa. We have hadith, according to some scholars, this hadith is authenticated in Shia resources. This hadith, it says, it's for Qurb al-Isnad, regardless now whether Qurb al-Isnad is authenticated book or not. But some scholars, they consider this hadith as what? Authenticated. They say, listen to this hadith. This is very interesting hadith. According to some scholars, this is authenticated. It's عن الإمام الرضا. So who is talking now? Supposedly, الإمام الرضا. عن أبيه, all the way, he said, إن الجن. What's al-jinn in English? Well, some people, they say portion of jinn is demons. Some of them, they say jinn. Okay? Jinni. Okay. إن الجن كانوا يسترقون السمع قبل مبعث النبي. يعني they used to listen to some metaphysical, things happening. Okay? Events. News. So, after the Prophet was sent as the Prophet for humanity, Mab'ath, Nabawi Sharif, now they are prevented from listening to anything. And now they are stoned. And by that, there is nothing called magic. This is in a book called Qurb al-Isnad. This is hadith to some people is what? Authenticated. Now, as fatawa wise, according to Sunnah, we have two groups of people. We have a group that said, yes, there is black magic, and they use Bukhari. Some people, they say, no, there is nothing called what? Black magic. But as fatawa for Shia, I'll give you the opinion of Sayyid al-Khu'i, one of the most important scholars in our modern, time. Sayyid al-Khu'i, he said, لَيْسَ لِلسِّحْرِ حَقِيقَةٌ مَوْضُوعِيَّةٌ. There is nothing called what? Black magic. بل هو إراءة غير الواقع بصورة الواقع. يعني you are using what? Illusion. In reality, it does not exist. But they make you think it exists. It's that way. Is that clear? This is our al-fatawa. And this is the famous opinion among Shia. Now, one more thing about the weak ahadith. And this is what we are gonna be discussing, but after I get some of your questions. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask about ghaib.
Yeah.
I don't know if you... So, when you mention it, you're saying the people of ghaib or who have ghaib. But like how do you know if you have that ability? And two, how do they differentiate between sihr or
how they
the
people how they differentiate between sihr and ghaib?
And if you have that sort of ability, how can you
look, people
differentiate yourself or stop yourself from doing
but people have the tendency to believe in weird things all over the globe. And we gave an example of what al-abraj in English would be what? Horoscopes. Till now, so many people, they believe in it. Or at least they read them. In case. So people, they have the tendency to believe in superstitious. And that's why Islam made big deal out of believing in superstitious. And that's why sihr, according to so many scholars, is considered what? Kufr. Why? Because you are not allowed to be superstitious. Islam will tell you, where is your logic? Where's your rational thinking? Now, we see in history, in our modern life, some people, they might predict something. So the question would be, is that something always happening, or it happened? If it happened, that's not a case. If 1 + 1 = 2, it has to equal what? 2 all the time. If like 10% it's 2, but most of the time it's not, I say this is not a formula anymore. That's not a case. I cannot build on it. Logic is logic. You cannot be logical 10% and illogical what? 90%. I cannot use this as a law. So if someone by coincidence was able to predict something, the question would be, how come he's not always, that way? Yani Allah, he could have used it in lottery, he could use it in gambling. No, we don't have this. So sometimes it's a feeling, and it might be right, might be wrong. So there is no person knows it. Even the Imam or the Nabi, the ghaib, he does not know it personally. Big portion of it is from Allah. وَلَوْ كُنْتُ أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبِ لَاسْتَكْثَرْتُ مِنَ الْخَيْرِ. So we say even ilm al-Imam, the knowledge of Imam, is under 3 categories. One of them, it is based on teachings. عَلَّمَنِي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ أَلْفُ بَابٍ مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ. So the Prophet taught me, or the Imam used to say, وَجَدْتُ فِي مِصْحَفِ فَاطِمَةَ, أو وَجَدْتُ فِي مِصْحَفِ عَلَيْهِ, the book of Fatima. Written, a hadith from Fatima alayhi salam. I mean, written by Fatima alayhi salam. So this is teaching. Or something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes him feel it. It's in his heart directly. Or, something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, taught the Imam or the Prophet. Like he told Ibrahim alayhi salam through a dream, or Yusuf alayhi salam through a dream. Their visions is different than our vision, dream-wise. So here we have, ways of knowledge. Even the Nabi or Imam, we did not say he knows al-ghaib 100%, directly. No, some of it is what? And from Allah. مش هو, if Allah does not allow it, he's not going to know it. Okay, he's not going to, unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him the permission. And it varies. And that's why even the Prophet, when someone used to ask him a question, he said, إِنِّي أَنْتَظِرُ أَمْرَ السَّمَاءِ, according to some narrations, now regardless of the authenticity. I'm waiting for what? The answer from Allah. And that's why so many places, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْأَنْفَالِ, okay, tell them this. They ask you about al-hilal, tell them this. They ask you what they should spend. يَسْأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يُنْفِقُونَ قُلِ الْعَفُوِ. So there is a teaching process. Okay? So here when I go to people, most of the time they claim they know everything, isn't it? Yeah, just give me your name, your mother name, and I can figure out what's going to happen to you next day. Ya Habibi, go fix this. And look, through horoscopes وشغلات هولي كله شعوذة when it comes to big deal things, nobody talks about it. Big war, big economic issues, market collapse. Where are they? But they talk about, your husband is cheating on you, your wife is cheating on you, you are going to be sick, you are going to die that day. This is now the big deal. But the big deals and the global big deal you do not know about. Or they bring a guy or a lady that is going to, especially by the end of the year, okay? Like, I don't want to mention Lebanese, for instance. This is going to happen and this and that. Ya subhanallah, if you know all these details, why don't you just, make your life happier? It's a problem. People, they want to... So people, what they usually do, okay, they are talking for half an hour. 5 events went right, but ya akhi, fi 100 events, they were wrong. We do not memorize the other 95. We only memorize what happened as a coincidence. Okay, but that does not mean a person sometimes has feelings and he might feel, hey, this might happen. That's a different story. That's not a career. It's not a way to make money. So now how we are going to differentiate whether he is honest or not? Anyone that he claim, any regular person that he claim he knows al-ghaib, we should not listen to. That's the bottom line. Especially when I go check his life is miserable. Actually, he's waiting on you to make money. He needs customers. And he makes money because of naive people. And that's why going to these people is haram. And some scholars, they consider it kufr. You know, they consider it kufr. Is that clear? I mean, you ask.
Yeah, but it's just, I'm still like confused to how you would know if you are from al-alam al-ghaib, for example. How...
Okay, if it's personal level, you can tell. If it's not personal level, how I'm gonna know? I mean, now your closest friend, after 10 years, you figure out he was a hypocrite or she was a hypocrite. Daily basis, you're talking to people. It's not easy. Unless that person is very honest, very humble, assigned by Allah, he is imam, or he is a prophet, or he is well-known, pious scholar, and even that, his word is questionable because he's not ma'soom. So this is, once we enter into a room of probabilities, I cannot just make a formula. It will be more empirical formula. Could be right, could be wrong. Different than al-ma'soom. Al-ma'soom, he does not lie. Al-ma'soom does not give you wrong information. Al-ma'soom is always, protected and shielded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the angels. Because he's ma'soom. Okay? So, any question about this? See, we have riwayah أن عليا عليه السلام قال من تعلم شيئا من السحر قليلا أو كثيرا فقد كفر. Learning black magic or any magic, okay, to deceive people, it's what? You enter into the level of kufr. And we have another hadith. قال نحن أهل بيت عصمنا الله من أن نكون فتانين أو كذابين أو ساحرين إلى آخر الرواية. I have other riwayat. If you want, I can send it to you. Well, for instance, here, okay, anyway. So this is the hadith. Now another problem we have in as-sihr, and this is a valid question. How I'm going to distinguish between as-sihr and miracle? If sihr is that powerful, so what's the difference between miracle and sihr? I'm confusing people here. So that's why al-Mu'tazila, they said sihr is impossible. You're talking about sihr other than illusion, it's impossible because you are confusing people. People, they are going to consider miracle what? Black magic. So therefore there is nothing called, according to them, what? Black magic, which is a very valid point. Now, where is our problem here? Our problem, and here I conclude, we have books famous among people that talks about what? Black magic. And this is something, brothers and sisters, is very critical. Especially when people start using groups and sending what? قال رسول الله, قال الإمام الصادق. And in reality, it is not. But they put the source. One of those books, famous book in our houses, I don't know if you have it, is a book called طب الأئمة. Have you heard about this book? طب الأئمة. Anyone heard about this book? It's a very famous book. And they claim it is for Ibn Sibtam al-Naysaburiyan. Ibn Bistam al-Naysaburiyan. Ibn Bistam, it is for Ibn Bistam. Bistam is the father. Okay? Now the father, I have nothing to do with him. The father, his brothers, I believe, as I remember, according to Najashi, they are trustworthy. Our discussion here with his son or sons, because two. I think Hussein, his name, and his brother. Ibn Bistam and Naysaburi and his brother, they wrote a book. And those people, they died 401 Hijri. That means about 1,040 years ago. So around 401 Hijri. Now, this is, it's good reference here. But where's our problem with this book? Our problem with this book is very famous now. And I'm telling you, some people, they got hurt because they use this book. Oh, قال الإمام الصادق, do this diet. You go do this diet, you lose your vitamins and minerals, and you are in the graveyard. Horizontally, okay? Dead. Or you do a certain, Imam said this, and in reality the Imam did not say it. It's not authenticated hadith. So where is our problem here? Our problem, we have books that became famous, and people, they do not know what does authenticated hadith mean, and what are our main resources of hadith. For instance, Ibn Bistam and his brother, nobody knows about them. According to Sayyid al-Khou'i, they are what? They are not udul, they are not thiqat. Let me make it much better. They are not what? Thiqat. They are not trustworthy. They are not. That's one thing. And some people in Shia claim those are people of ghulu. What's ghulu?
Idolizers.
Huh?
Idolizers.
No, ghulu. What's ghulu? In Arabic we say, wallah, this used to be $1, halla صارت 1.5. What do we call this? غلط. When we are boiling water, what do we say in Arabic? غلط. So ghulu means you go beyond limitation. Like those people, wal'iyadhu billah, they consider Imam Ali God, wal'iyadhu billah. That's ghulu. That's ghulu. This is ghulu. Okay? Or you give a person attributes, or one of the attributes of God. This is ghulu. Like, in the time of Al-Imam Al-Kadhim, when Imam Al-Kadhim passed away, a group of people, they said, no, Al-Imam Al-Kadhim did not die. One of the reasons because of ghulu, he's still alive. The other reason has nothing to do with that, they say. Because Imam Al-Kadhim asked for Al-Khumus, so they collected Al-Khumus. When they knew that Imam Al-Kadhim passed away, they felt this money is ours, let's keep it. They said to Imam Rida, no, you are not the Imam. We call them Al-Waqifa. Shia, but Al-Waqifa. They believe all the way to Al-Imam, what? Al-Kadhim. Okay? So ghulu, we have ghulu, a problem in Islam. Sunnah and Shia. And ghulu could be making a person all the way to the level of God, and sometimes it's the opposite. You make a negative ghulu, well, both are negative, but you make a ghulu that downgrade people. I'll tell you, Imam Ali is the best person after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wal-iyadhu billah, you guys, why are you making him like Abu Huraira? Please don't. This is opposite of ghulu. The opposite of ghulu. And also this is bad. You have to be balanced in Islam. So those, they say mughalin. So you are referring me to a book, the authors, what? They are not authenticated. Al-Hussein bin Bistam or his brother, they are not what? Authenticated. Okay? Hala in al-Najashi, you will see the word, that book has some benefits. But does not mean it's from Ahl al-Bayt. Where's the problem too in the book? We don't have the chain of narrations. Yani this guy, he passed away 400, all of a sudden he will tell you, قال Rasulullah, Ya Habibi, between you and Rasulullah, you have 400 years. How did you know that the Prophet said it? I question mark. While in books like Al-Kafi or Tahdhib Al-Ahkam, no, we will have, for instance, Al-Kafi, he will say, علي بن إبراهيم عن أبي عن النوفل عن النوفل عن السكون عن. Oh, there is a narration. It goes, you can track it. You can see whether it is authenticated or not, whether weak or not. But this book has what? No chain of narration, most of it, if not all. So this is anything from the book of Tibb al-Amma, we consider it what? Weak narrations. Our problem, people are, the Imam said. Who told you? Oh, it's in that book. Habibi, that book, it is not authenticated book. Allah, kaman, there is a problem. Some scholars, they question, is that current book we have the same one written by those two people or not? Ibn Abistan. Clear? That's a book. So anything that talks about sihr in that book, we say it's weak hadith. Actually, it has no narration. May God, rahimakumullah, bless you. Okay? Another famous book in our library, Kitab Makarim al-Akhlaq. Have you heard about this book? Kitab Makarim al-Akhlaq, it is for a very well-known scholar, Tabarsi. But the problem of that book, it has most of it, if not all, okay, it has no chain of narration. So the scholar will tell you, قال الإمام الصادق. Okay, where did you read it? Show me the narration. Oh, we don't. So scholars will tell you we cannot use it in fiqh or in aqidah. Yes, if there is hadith authenticated by Al-Kafi, and there is one that matches in Makarim al-Akhlaq, I can use it. Why? Because it's just, it's matching. But can I use the book Makarim al-Akhlaq by itself without comparing it to like Al-Quran or Al-Kafi or other important book in Shia? No. You cannot compare Makarim al-Akhlaq to Al-Kafi or Makarim al-Akhlaq to Tahdhib al-Ahkam or Makarim al-Akhlaq to Al-Istibsar or Makarim al-Akhlaq to Man La Yahdaru al-Faqih. Totally different. Okay? Any question about this? So this also talks about magic, but we say those are not valid hadith. Please pay attention to these. Why I had to bring up these two topics, especially Tibb al-Amma, because as I said, you will find in your family and among your relatives, some people, they assume this hadith from the Imam and it has to do with medication, and they got hurt and the Imam did not even say it. Just because someone sent them on WhatsApp, hey, it is mustahab to do that every day. And it is not mustahab. Or eat this. It's like nowadays someone is telling you, I'm joking, okay? Yeah, it's mustahab to eat this kind of sweet. And you have diabetes, man. Or, it is mustahab to eat dates. And you have diabetes. It's a problem. Go check your, sugar first. Is that clear? I'm not saying this is not mentioned in riwayat. I'm talking about in general. It's just an example. So our problem, we have a chaos. Nowadays, with the technology, with information, we do not know which hadith is right, which hadith is wrong. And that's why I encourage you, every hadith you question, or every hadith you want to believe in, ask a legitimate, knowledgeable scholar. Because we are in a world, everything is messed up. What do I mean by that? I gave you this example before, was mentioned in one of the books. I think it's called Technopoly. He said, when you buy a new deck of cards. Okay? Uno. Forget now. It's Uno. I'm safe. So, new one. There is 0. After 0, you expect what? 0 red. Red, isn't it? There is? Okay. 0. It has been a while I did not play Uno, like 2 weeks. Okay. We have 0. Then, because it's a new, what's the second one will be? 1. After 2, 3. The card, isn't it? They are consecutive numbers. All of a sudden now, someone tells you, hey, look, I got 0, 1, 8. You tell him, no, it's impossible. Because production has been running for so many years. To have this problem is kind of impossible, like 0.001%. Now someone comes in that those cards are new, but he just starts shuffling them. So I pick the first card, it is 0. The second card, what's going to be? What's going to be? I shuffled now the whole cards. So I gave you the first one, it's 0. The second one, what's going to be? It's going to be anything is possible, isn't it? Are you surprised now? Welcome to our century. Everything is possible. To a point, everyone claim, scientifically proven. I read a research paper. Oh, we are messed up. Even in a very good reputational, very good, prestigious, academy. Sometimes they have what? Wrong data. Or today, hey, this is not good for your cholesterol. A year or two, you know what? No, we were wrong. This is good for you. So we became, because of this chaos, so much information, and everyone nowadays can do copy-paste, and everyone, mashallah, is capable to send and post. We entered into the zone of everything is possible and everything must be questionable. Even a ChatGPT. What's a ChatGPT? ChatGPT, I go get information from a data set. Based on that, you ask a question. I go grab the information and give it to you. If that data set is full of garbage of information, we say in programming, garbage in, garbage out. G-I-G-O. So therefore, even a ChatGPT, if it is not well, filtered, algorithm by itself is not good enough. I have to have valid data in order to give you valid answers. And that's why some of them you have to pay money. Why? Because they clean up and filter information. So nowadays you cannot tell me, Sheikh, you are wrong. Why? I went to ChatGPT and they told me Shia believe in this. Ya Habibi, ChatGPT is not your marja. ChatGPT could be right, could be wrong. Depends what kind of information is fed. Is that clear? At this point, we stop naffasat fi al-uqad. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We proved that black magic we cannot approve it from Quran, and we cannot approve it from authenticated hadith. As science-wise, we keep it for scientists. It's not my job. As credibility, we had to question it because among history, we had no authenticated hadith to prove that those happened in the time of Ahlul Bayt. And as our scholars used to say, لو كان لظهر وبان. Yani if the magic were to be that critical and famous, how come we do not have so many hadith authenticated talking about it like tahara or najasa or halal or haram? Why we have couple of hadith that are very weak in our famous 4 books? And why we don't have a hadith that talk about how to negate black magic curse or influence. How come we don't have them? And if there is, we said قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. According to Sunnah, people use the leaves of sidr, or eat dates, 7 dates, whatever. So it is very questionable. The Quran-wise, naffasat fil uqad, our main ayah by itself, it's ambiguous and it could have so many meaning. وَإِذَا وُجِدَ الْإِحْتِمَالِ بَطُلَ الْإِسْتِدْلَالِ. Here we stop it. Our next topic will be also very argumentative topic, and it's about explaining وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ. What is hasad? Is there a relation between hasad and saybat al-ayn? Is saybat al-ayn, evil eye, something in Islam or not? It's a big argument. Inshallah, we'll talk about it. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.